Hello, and welcome to episode 2 of the Watering Seeds series. And today I wanted to, I'm just going to put this away, explore the idea of healing anxiety by surrendering to the moment. Now, aside from a clinical definition of anxiety, I find anxiety is a restlessness in the present moment, or not being satisfied with things, head spinning, swirling, being caught in a storm. I find that storm is oftentimes created by wanting things to be a certain way. I like to call this a fixed mindset. And so things have to be this way. And if they're not, we're in anxiety. We had to wake up at this time. If we're not, now we're worried. This person didn't like us when we expected them to. And now we're worried. Now we're spinning. Now we're trying to come up with contingencies and plan Bs and all those things. We're trying to create um, the life we think we need to be living. And what's missing is the life we are living. And we make a evaluation that the life we're living is different from the life we want to be living. When in reality, all that is formed in the mind. So there can be ways to gently shift ourselves from this fixed, has to be this way, has to be this thing, this person, this job, this house, this shelter, this bank account amount, pets, whatever it might be. And of course, wanting things to be good and everything is fine. It's how deeply we become rooted in those things. So the way to relieve anxieties, less so of healing, but it puts us into a state that seems to make more sense, is going with the flow. So going from fix to kind of flow. I know when I was initially speaking, my mind went from, fix to growth mindset, but even growth there's something fixed about growth, or like growth has to be fixed, or there always has to be growth. And I think there are seasons for that, but I think that can also drive a lot of anxiety. So I want to share going from fixed to just flow. And flow, I see it as allowing things to be as they are. So if we think of a river, if if a river is flowing and we're trying to block this flowing river, there's going to be a ton of resistance. You might try to put some dam structures in, they might fall apart. Of course, you could maybe eventually dam it up, but then it causes um, the water to flow differently in other ways, and we're constantly now having to keep or regulate this dam or shift dams or maintain these dams, and that can be tough. Sometimes might be needed, but not always. Rather than we can allow the river just to flow as it is and find um, the parts of the river we need and see it exactly as we are. So going back to the life example, it's saying things are the way they need to be. And a practice that I think is really helpful is just surrendering to the moment. So if you would follow along with me, I'm doing this a lot for myself to listen back to, but also anyone who's listening, I hope it will be helpful, is just take a look at your surroundings right now. Wherever you are, just kind of look around. Can you see the sky? Can you see walls? Can you see structures? Is it nature all around you? Is there a trail? Are there trees? Are there animals? Is there life? Is there built things like furniture or appliances, tables, chairs? Are you sitting on a chair? Are you walking? Are you in a car? Just to notice this is the moment right now. What you can see is the present. What you can hear is the present. So that's another layer. What can you hear? Are there birds? Is there wind? Is there sounds? Is there music? It goes back to all the senses. Are there any smells, any tastes? What can you feel with your hands? What type of materials are on your legs? Is there pants? Is there shorts? Can you feel your own skin? And that all takes you of like, this is how it feels like right now. This is what it's like to be this years old on this day in this season. And when we come to this place of like, this is how it is right now, you might notice how quickly anxiety or that fixed mindset disappears. Because as we notice, there's nothing fixed in the present moment. It's constantly shifting. The more we look at it, the more we see how fast it changes. The wind was like this a few seconds ago. Now it's like this. I could see this a few seconds ago. Now it's like this. One example from that is if there's any clocks, and sometimes clock staring can cause anxiety, but it doesn't have to, is you'd be like, oh, it's this o'clock, and in 60 seconds, that number is going to shift. If it's a digital clock, if it's analog, then the hand will move. And so that's the small piece of like what's here right now exactly. And just allow yourself to sink into this moment of like, this is this moment right now. And if you stumbled upon this, just notice how you had to get through everything you had to stumble upon this. A video or talk. And just sit in that just for a few seconds. Just hearing, just seeing. And then we can expand that moment out to there's not much of a difference between this moment right here and right now and all the other moments in your life, apart from our brain evaluating moments. But the evaluation can shift. So what you might have evaluated, I'll give an example. I've come, I think I have failed courses before at school. So when you look at a course, you get a grade and it's like, oh, grade is failing or grade is low or it's high, whatever it is. And we evaluate based on the percentage. But we can also evaluate it based on what we learned. It could be like, oh, I didn't learn anything, or actually I learned a lot, but I still failed. So see, just by what angle we look at it, it shifts, the valuation shifts, but the moment is the same. Like I was there, I did that course, but how I look back on it changes all the time. And if it could change all the time, then that means there's no inherent objective way to evaluate it. There's no right or wrong way. An evaluation is just it's kind of part of the imagination. It can be useful, but there's no like substance behind it. There's no like you're right for doing this or you're wrong for doing this. However, if we really cling to evaluating things, that is a cause for anxiety because then we expect things to be a certain way. So if we cling to, oh, I need to have good grades, then we're constantly in the mindset of I have to work so hard, work so hard, work so hard, I can never get a break. And then we might even have a really relaxing day and we can't enjoy it because our mind is all about getting high grades, not really worried about relaxation, not really thinking or trying or yeah, our mind's not on relaxation. When in reality, we can just surrender to things being exactly as they are. Um, and just noticing that kind of like all the events of your life unfolded the way they had to, the good, the bad, the ugly, and they led you here. and there's nowhere else to go. Sometimes that can lead one to wonder, well, does that mean I have a choice, or is there a choice in this life? Was everything kind of preset if that's the way it had to go? There's a yes and no to it. A lot of things are kind of preset, like if you think kind of scientifically, and laws of physics are kind of discovered, they're not created. It's something that was there, it's just our observations get better. So similar, the way we can observe our lives, we can learn to improve the way we look on our lives. If we're quick to judge ourselves, we can become slower to judge or get more details before judging, and that can change how we look back. So there's that level of control, the level of detail. And the other part is we can choose an intention. Like we can choose a flavor, if that makes sense. And or the lens. So like if I even pick today, I get to choose like what do I want to be following today? For me, it chose today I want to follow peace. So anytime there's a rush or want to criticize or fight internally of like, oh, you didn't do it this way, you should be doing this, or at this time of the day, you need to be doing this, I kind of shower it with peace of being like, I just want to be at peace. Whatever will bring me peace, that's what I want. Other days it might be, peace has been kind of tiring. I'll look at the things that are happy. I'm gonna get a happy snack, like just chase that. Chasing also I can have that fixed sense, but following where that word happy gets me and just seeing where that takes me, or seeing what word does come up. Sometimes you can kind of just sit and like, what's the word? As long as it's not a word, it's just like a feeling. You can also let go of words, and it becomes kind of this inner lightness or heaviness, and you're just following what's light. But you want to have it really close to the present moment. What's here, what's now. And in looking at what's here, what's now truly can tell us what we want to be doing. And so anxiety wants to speed things up. It wants things to be fixed a certain way. I need it this way or that way. And flow, or the wholesome aspect, is things can be any way they want to be. We're just surrendering. We're just allowing. Surrendering not from giving up. Surrendering as tuning in of, or actually aligning with the world. Letting things to be wild a little bit. We kind of, this is civilization, it's kind of like we have to tame everything, and sometimes not. Kind of loosening that grip of just allowing. So yeah, I wanted to share that today, the surrender. And as I recorded this, it was all just surrendering to what words just came to me. So it's gonna have its bits and bobs, ups and downs. But as always, take such good care of yourself, and you are loved. You're doing a great job. You are beautiful, beautiful creature. And keep going. More is out there. And everything is already here. Okay, till next time.